This is Ms. Beard.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Ms. Beard. You're being brought before me again this morning for what's called a first appearance, okay? I'm going to go over your rights again, and then I'm going to tell you what the charges are in this warrant, and it's my understanding that you applied for court-appointed counsel, so they'll be in touch with you to discuss the case moving forward. First and foremost, you have the right to remain silent regarding these charges against you. I encourage you at this stage of the case to exercise that right due to the fact that you are in open court, that you haven't had an opportunity to counsel with lawyers, and also that anything you say could be used against you at a later date. You have the right to have an attorney represent you, even though you have applied and qualified for court-appointed counsel. At any time, if you are able to do so and you choose to hire an attorney, you can do that. But at this time, you have qualified, and the court will appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges. You have the right to have a preliminary hearing on this matter. We have set a preliminary hearing date for this matter for July 27th at 2 p.m. That hearing will occur in front of a magistrate judge, and the purpose of that hearing would not be to determine whether or not you're guilty or innocent, but to determine whether or not there's sufficient probable cause to bind the charges over to Superior Court for further prosecution. If the case is bound over to Superior Court, you have the right to have a speedy and public trial on this matter. At a trial, the state would be required to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt before you, in fact, could be found guilty. At a trial, you would be able to confront and cross-examine witnesses, as well as present any evidence on your own behalf. Your right to remain silent, as well as your right to an attorney, follow you throughout this prosecution. And if you exercise your right to remain silent at any time, it cannot be used against you as evidence of guilt. Do you understand your rights as I've given them to you?
Yes.
Okay, I just need you to step hard to hear. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You were charged in warrant number 2021-870-WF with 1 count of malice murder and 1 count of felony murder, both of those being felonies.
Oh, she's
Cheers. No. No. A wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
Ms. Beard, I obviously can see that you're very upset. Can you just let me know that you understand what you're being accused of, and I will get you. Okay. Ms. Hayden, were you able to discuss the charges with her?
Yes, Your Honor, I was, and I'll follow up with her again.
Okay. If y'all just take her back so she can get confused. Okay. Thank you.
Judge Floor.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Thompson. My name is Judge Floor. This is Henry County Magistrate Court. You're being brought before me this morning for a first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of what you're being accused of, inform you of your rights in regards to those charges, to determine what you want to do about counsel. And I'm unable to address bond on this, so we will be sending the case over to Superior Court for bond, and I'll explain that to you when I'm done. First, I want to explain to you, you have the right to remain silent in regards to these charges. I encourage those accused of a crime at this stage to exercise that right due to the fact that you are in open court. We are being recorded, and you likely haven't had the opportunity to counsel with a lawyer yet. Keep in mind that anything you say can be used against you at a later date in this prosecution. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can make application. And if you qualify, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you. It's my understanding that you previously made application for court-appointed counsel and did qualify. Because these charges are related to the previous charges, the court will also appoint an attorney to represent you on these charges, and it will be the same attorney, okay? You have the right to have a preliminary hearing on this matter. A preliminary hearing will occur on July 27th at 2 p.m. in front of a magistrate judge. The purpose of that preliminary hearing is not to determine your guilt or innocence, but to determine whether or not there's sufficient probable cause to bind your case over to the appropriate court for prosecution. For your case, that will be the Superior Court of Henry County. You have the right to have a speedy and public trial on this matter. At a trial, the state will be required to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt before you, in fact, can be found guilty. At a trial, you would be able to confront and cross-examine witnesses against you, as well as present any evidence, witnesses, and testimony on your own behalf. Your right to an attorney, as well as your right to remain silent, follow you throughout that trial. And if you exercise your right to remain silent at any time during this process, it cannot be used against you at a later date for evidence of guilt. Do you understand those rights, Mr. Thompson?
Yeah.
I need you to speak up a little bit more.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You were charged in warrant number 2021-869-WF with 1 count of malice murder and 1 count of felony murder. Do you understand what you're being accused of?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's my understanding that you applied for court-appointed counsel, you did qualify, and they have conflicted your case out, and you have been assigned representation of Mr. Brad Moody. Were you made aware of that?
No, ma'am. I just got a lawyer.
You
We
hired
getting
a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am. We hiring a lawyer now. Since
Okay, have you already hired one?
No, we're in the process now.
Okay, if you will do this, I've appointed lawyer, but if you hire one, if they will file an entry of appearance, as soon as they do that, we will release the other appointed lawyer from your case, okay? But we don't want there to be a gap in your representation, and since you already made application, until you hire one, you'll be represented by them, okay?
All right.
Is that okay, because you did make application?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, again, your reset date's going to be July 27th, 2021 at 2 p.m. So the jail, and your bond must be heard in front of a superior court, okay? That has to be done within 30 days. It's usually quicker than that, but we'll get you on the next available superior court calendar for a bond hearing, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you, sir.